Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm back. It's Orlando from Mobile Max Car Audio, and today we have a 2007 Scion TC that we're going to be doing an install. So I'm just going to show you the car quick. Just like in every installation, we always put a seat cover to make sure we cover their seat, and then cover on the shift knob or the gear knob to make sure we don't scratch this up. So in the 2007 Scion TC, you have a folding mechanism that covers the radio, and then behind here the factory radio is a double din. As you can see, this is one of the issues we're dealing with. So this radio no longer works. The customer is unsure why it no longer works. We're gonna dig in and find out, but as you can see, this mechanism is also broken or not put into place correctly. So we're gonna walk you through how to remove this panel, how to take the radio out, and then we're actually gonna install a different radio into here. Guys, so to take this radio out, it's rather simple. You're just going to need some plastic pry tools. You don't want to use a screwdriver, because if you use a screwdriver, you might mess up some of the trim. So you can see that it has some scuff marks already, but we don't want to add to that, and we don't want to damage the customer's property. So obviously we're going to use some trim removal tools, and we're just going to start prying. All right guys, so to get started, we're going to take off the gear shift knob. So you're just going to turn it. Then after you finish turning, it should just come right up. Next, you're gonna pry at these edges to get this up. So from the back of the front, it's up to you, but you're just gonna pry this up, and you'll see this panel start to separate, and then this will easily come up. And then this has a cigarette lighter. This doesn't have a normal clip, so it's not easy to take off. So what I recommend doing is just putting it off to the side. All right, next guys, we're gonna pry this off. And to do that, it's the same way. You're just gonna take your pry tool, get in there, and it's gonna come right out. Then you're gonna lean this forward, and there's one connector. This one connector that you're going to have to remove. In order to do so, you're gonna lift this, pull down on this tab, and just wiggle it out, and it should release. For this radio, the customer expressed to us that it no longer works, that it used to work when he bought the vehicle, but now it no longer works. So we don't know who did this install. We're just coming in here to replace this radio and fix his situation. So as you can see, there's normally 2 screws that go down here. They are missing. And then there's 2 10mm nuts up there that you have to remove. So then to remove those 2, you're gonna need a 10mm socket. You're just gonna need a deep socket 10mm to get these out, because they do stick out a little bit, and then you're just gonna get them started. You wanna be careful when you're taking these out that you don't drop them, because you don't wanna have to go on the hunt for these later on. So as you can see, this is a 10mm nut with a embedded washer that holds the radio in place, and you just wanna put those in a safe place, guys. You don't wanna lose those. Next, after removing those screws and these screws, remember, if yours hasn't been modified before, you have the factory radio, you're going to have these 2 screws here. They're just Phillip heads. You pull the radio out, and then you can take a look at what's going on. So for our instance, you can see have some butt connectors here, and it looks like we have some open-ended connectors, and this could be the source of our problem, the fact that some of these connections aren't made tight. Here at Mobile Max Car Audio, we don't do our connections like this. We solder everything, make sure everything stays nice, tight, locked, and sealed. They were fortunate enough that they used a dash harness, so they didn't cut into the factory harness. But we're going to salvage this harness and add it to our new radio and see if we can salvage this guy as well. So we're going to salvage the existing harness. This is the Metro 1761. We'll put a link down in the description where you can pick it up off Amazon, but it's just a standard Toyota harness, so you can probably find one at AutoZone or your local automotive shop. So we're just gonna cut these out. All right guys, so the harness has your power and your front speakers on one, and then your rear speakers on another. That's just something to keep in mind. That's why there's 2 separate mechanisms, and it comes from the factory separated like this. Salvage the original harness that we found in the car, but normally this is a Metro 1761. You can pick that up off Amazon in the link in the description. This is that $10 radio we featured in our other video, And then we have the Metro Kit 998257, which is specifically for a single DIN. Since this is a universal kit, you have your many pieces. All right, guys, so out of the Metro Kit, you're gonna use the sides that say XR8209 TC, as you can see. And this is the same as what we have in the car. So you can see this is this side. So you have that mounting point up there, and then your mounting point down here, this and this. And now you need to break off this, this, and this, because they will not be used in the car. But we're just gonna snap these off and then test fit it in the car. We have the kit almost ready to go. We clipped off the pieces we didn't need, as you can see. And now we're gonna attach our radio to these pieces, and these pieces are going to fit in here like so. All right, guys, so we're gonna load this into the car now, and here we have our finished harness. As you can see, it's all soldered up, and then we just wrap it with some Tesa tape to make sure it stays together. And you can see it's just plug and place, nice and easy. Looks way better than what was originally in the car. And here's our single DIN set up, ready to go. We're gonna install it in the car. I'll walk you through that now. We're gonna hook our harness up. These two connectors don't get used for this install, so we'll just tuck those behind. So we hooked our harness up. Now we're gonna hook it up to our radio, and then we're gonna put our antenna in. So after you hook up your harness and your radio antenna, you're gonna wanna sit this back to clear the wings, and then you're gonna lower it into place. All right, guys, so now we're just gonna tighten these down. Remember, you're gonna need that long socket 10mm. You don't wanna over tighten. Remember, you're going onto plastic. Just nice, hands more than enough. And then you just wanna make sure these are solid. Okay. All right, then next you wanna plug your connector back in. When you're putting it back in, you wanna ease the top in first, and then the rest of it. As you can see, the customer's vehicle, this was broken already. We we can order the parts to fix it, but he said that he's fine just doing it manually for now. And remember, this is all just clips, so you're just gonna kind of slam it into place. It'll clip on. You'll just start screwing this back on. All right, guys, so after we put everything back, we just want to make sure the radio works, you know, as it's supposed to. So we're gonna go through a couple of tests with the customer, but I just wanted to give you guys a look at the final product, what it looks like after we're all done. Have a nice little pocket here to store stuff. And again, this is a $10 radio that we featured in our other video. It has aux, USB, SD card, and Bluetooth. It doesn't have a CD player, but now again, who's playing CDs? With that said, guys, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have links in the description for the radio, the harness, and the dash kit used in this video. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for our next install.